nothing.
You had fish and chips.
Chicken nuggets.
And a baguette.
And a baguette.
Oh,
What I got for
that
my
sounds
10-year anniversary is what he wants for his birthday. These kids. Yes, I have 2 boys. I have 2 little boys. Christopher's my little one. Billy's my 9-year-old. He's about to turn 10 in January. So
You know, years ago, they used to say there's no difference between boys and girls.
there's a big
Oh,
difference.
I've got 2 grandsons. They're into everything. And if I'm out there tinkering with a screwdriver, he grabs. When my daughters were young, they could care less. They stayed in the house and played.
Yeah, I have in a family of 6 girls, and I come from a lot of siblings, right? All of my sisters had girls. I'm the only one who had boys. And so there's a little cousin group. They're all anywhere between 5 through 11 right now. So it's a group of about little 6 of them growing together, but all girls except for my boys. Oh, you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
And my sisters are like, I get so tired when your boys come over. They're like, the girls, I can sit them down with the television and a book and they're fine. And then your boys show up and they're like, the time it takes to watch them and the time it takes to clean up after them. I'm like, yeah, but you're right. They want to tinker with things.
Yeah, yeah.
They want to break up things. They can't put them back together, but they want to break them. I have a lot of fun with them. But yeah, it's
Keep
interesting.
your eye out.
Yes, and I know it's not popular, but I try to teach them how to be polite and how to treat girls politely and open the doors.
No,
Yeah.
you're doing the right thing.
I'm like, open the doors for them, be polite.
It's only popular amongst the rude people.
And that's why I tell them, I know it's not the thing, but I always tell them, open the door.
Absolutely.
How many children did you have?
Two daughters.
You had 2 daughters?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now I've got 2 grandsons.
Oh.
I can see a huge difference.
Of course, yeah.
Like I look in the trash can, I'm going, oh, my wallet.
I'm like, first grandpa, I took out the money. And then
Wait a minute.
I proved it all the evidence. They're
So
fun.
funny.
All right, how old are the grandchildren?
2 years old and 3 months old.
Oh, they're little.
You have a baby.
You got babies. Yeah, that's so sweet.
I was just up in Sacramento yesterday. I stopped at a little shop. I'm gonna buy it for you now. I found the cutest sweater, right? Because I was telling you we were getting a Christmas sweater, right? So it's like this little knitted, super adorable little like cardigan for a little tiny baby.
Oh, that's
And I told my husband, I said, this is so cute. I have nobody to buy it for. It was meant to be that we're gonna have this conversation. You have a 3-month-old. Because I'm like, it's so cute.
I know.
You see the little newspaper boy hats?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It was a full outfit. I was like, this thing is so adorable. I know Rachel's like, no, I don't like it. But I was like, love
It's not that I don't
They
think
do.
children are fine.
it. She likes scuba diving. I like babies.
I love my grandchildren. We just Sunday celebrated the oldest grandchild's 23rd birthday.
Oh, wow.
They're getting so big. Well,
Oh,
and he's already like 6'4", so I mean,
Amazing.
I think he's done getting taller.
they grew up so fast.
Still in college?
He's finishing up college. Him and his brother will probably both graduate next year.
Another thing you have to go to.
Yeah, it's all right though.
That sounds
I
nice.
don't mind that.
That sounds.
College graduations, I'm
Mhm.
game. I'm the one that when they're like middle school and older, then I'm in. That's when I like.
Hey, Annabelle.
Hello. It's when they're little and they have diapers and things that I'm all, yeah, no.
Hello.
I've not changed a single grandchild diaper because, well, I take it back. There was one time, one diaper and I had no choice and there was no one around it.
Well, you weren't gonna let a child suffer.
Huh?
I said, well, you weren't gonna let a child suffer.
I mean, I waited.
You're so funny.
You waited long enough, huh? Until
waited.
you couldn't take the stink anymore.
It wasn't gonna be right if I waited any longer.
I bought them a little
Oh,
tiny
wow.
puppy.
It's
and they
very
have
interesting
so
when you
much
look at
fun
it.
with their
It's
puppy.
the number one
Those would be nice.
word
memories,
you
too.
use.
Those are what-
Right?
Remembering that.
Mhm.
Yes, we have so much fun. I love it.
Like, oh,
How many times did he poop?
I get that. And again, I support all of those who are keeping humans on the planet. Great. I'm glad that that is a choice you decided to make.
All right. Hi.
Hi.
This is the Fallbrook Regional Health District Facilities Committee meeting on Wednesday, November 12th at 5 p.m. And may I have a roll call, please? Or do we do that anymore?
No need.
don't do that.
You're both here? Yeah, we're good.
All right. Any other comments? Yep.
And we had nothing via email as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn this over to Rachel.
Okay.
Talk about the discussion items, please.
Site logic update. So at the Community Health and Wellness Center today, as part of letter D we'll talk about, but they poured part of the ADA walkway and they installed the truncated domes, you know, the little yellow bumps for visually impaired folk. That item was the final thing that was holding up the inspection for Site Logic to be able to have the solar panels energized from SDG&E. The county required those to be installed at the end of the walkway. So now that that has been installed, I sent that picture to Greg Olson, who was our project manager for Site Logic. He'll schedule that. So that phase of Site Logic will be closed out. We are still negotiating with the next door property owner regarding our lot line adjustment. And until that is completed, we can't move forward with the solar and EV charging on this property. So that is still pending. I'll move to to item B, which is about building A, room 2, which is the primary building at the Wellness Center, the old church fellowship hall building. So the longer one where we're putting in the demonstration kitchen, right? So we discovered that during the major use permit that we went through in 2020 through 2021, the consultants we hired, Jay Wayland at the time, once we got the permit, there was a provision that a right turn only when you're leaving the Wellness Center, that sign be moved closer to the road. We moved that sign. However, Jay Wayland did not submit appropriate paperwork to the county. We should have apparently gotten an encroachment permit at the time, which did not happen. So when Encinitas Design Group put forward the proposed drawings at the Wellness Center for the demonstration kitchen, that flagged a note at the county that said we had this outstanding provision on our major use permit. So in order to get this minor deviation on our major use permit, we have to close out the right turn only sign. So I have the paperwork to be able to do the encroachment permit. I've started working on that. Teresa sent me pictures of and general measurements. We're hoping that we can submit that and it can move quickly. But that was another hurdle we
So
discovered.
physically nothing needs to be done, it's just the paperwork or?
Correct. Nothing should have to be done. However, the county may decide that they're gonna send an inspector out, and if the sign isn't to their liking, they may require the sign be moved. We'll find out once the permit paperwork has been submitted and whether or not they want to send out an inspector for it. So it's just gonna slow that down a little bit. It's the nature of construction. Item C, this is the exciting part. So for building B, the education rooms 3 and 6 and the exterior restrooms have been a conversation of renovation and bringing the restrooms up to ADA. We have, just as a reminder, we've decided not to conjoin room 3 and 6, which is the 2 rooms at the very end of the building. We talked about putting a folding partition wall. That turns out to be a much more of an engineering involvement than was expected. So we've decided to abandon that approach. So we're the projects have been separated. So the exterior restrooms on that had to be renovated no matter what. Though you're not ADA compliant, they're old. It just needed to be renovated. So several months ago, I put forward a grant to the FPUD Community Benefit Program. And I found out Monday, that we were awarded $120,000 out of the estimated $165,000 that the project will cost. So we're very excited about that. We will reach out to the general contractors on our list. Since that falls under that $200,000 CUPCA agreement, we don't have to do the full formal bid process. We can do the slightly more informal bid process. Once I have those bids, I will bring those to the committee because it is above my signing authority. So we'll bring those bids to you all, and then we'll take that to the probably maybe December board meeting, maybe January board meeting, so that we can start the renovations on those 2 exterior restrooms.
So even though it is below the 250, we still have to do prevailing wage.
We have to do prevailing wage no matter what we do here. Changing light bulbs, doesn't matter. We got clarification from Alex and such that any public works that we do of any sort must be done at prevailing wage. And in fact, a new law was just passed that has to do with exactly how prevailing wage must be documented and reported from our side, not just the general contractor side. So we'll be learning a little bit more about how that law will affect us, but everything must now be prevailing wage. There's zero wiggle room. We have tried every conversation to find out exactly what those rules are, and the rules are, it doesn't matter, it has to be prevailing wage.
But congratulations on submitting.
Very excited. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's $120,000 that we can keep in for programming. And the exciting part is that $120,000 is basically 2 years of the diabetes prevention program. So it's a strong investment to keep dollars back in the community.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
So we should hopefully start the exterior restrooms sooner. We are, because the room 6, which has the 2 small restrooms, and room 3, which just will need to have the demo out the old sink area, new flooring, some additional paint touch up, some things. We are currently trying to negotiate a contract with a handyman company that also is general contracting to be able to do some of those smaller projects. Since it must be prevailing wage, finding a vendor who will do certified payrolls is not that easy. So we are hoping that we'll have a contract for that coming forward next month.
What's certified?
Certified payroll is what prevailing wage is, basically. It's proof that your general contractor paid the trades that prevailing wage. There's a number of different terms that go with it, which is Department of Industrial Relations, DIR numbers, prevailing wage, certified payroll is part of how that's reported. Those all go together. Yes. Okay. Item D. Woo, very excited. This one finally happened. The ADA ramps and sidewalks at the Wellness Center. So we'll have a sidewalk that was just poured today, that runs in front of building A, along that side, goes down the slope outside of the parking lot, which means that people will be able to walk from building A to building B without having to go through the parking lot. And it's set so that it'll be at a slope that is appropriate for wheelchairs, walkers, strollers, anything of that nature. So that really allows for much more safety and usability between those 2 buildings. And then at the bottom of the parking lot, that dirt area right before you try to go down to that shade structure down there, there's that steep set of stairs, but there is no appropriate ramp for anyone who needs to have an ADA access that way. So they're currently formed up and will probably pour tomorrow, I think.
know with the weather, I'm not sure.
They may be able to pour tomorrow or not, depending, right, weather. But they'll have that ramp and sidewalk that will go down there as well. That project should be complete. We had hoped by Friday, depending on weather, it may be done by the end of next week. But that will be done. Side note, we did receive a grant last year, again, from the FPUD Community Benefit Program for $30,000 as part of that project as well. So we'll be able to close out both that grant and this project, which is exciting.
Good deal.
Yeah, we're getting there. Building A, the roof. So as you'll recall, in room 1, which is the old sanctuary, has the A-frame roof. And then you have the small connecting hallway space in between it that leads from A to B. We have the HVAC system up on that middle area. The last rains, Teresa and her team noticed that there is actually water that is coming from the roof into that little space, which used to be the minister's office. She called out HVAC. He took a look. It is not coming from his installation. It is essentially where the drip edge, all of a sudden I've forgotten what that's called. You know, the little bent metal that drips, and anyway, in between there and the wood, the roof is just shot. We knew that we would end up having to re-roof that entire building, but this area has moved that forward. So we did get one quote to repair it from the previous roofing company that we used from this and the other buildings. It seemed quite high for a repair. So we're gonna look for a couple of other roofers to get some ideas of what it would take to repair, re-roof just that section, since it really is separate from the other 2 roofs, and building B will have that whole new roof structure. When we do the demonstration kitchen, I don't want to do too much work on the whole building. So that is something that you'll see coming forward in the next month or so as well.
What was that high bid?
Is it $16,000?
$5,500.
Oh, $5,500. What was the 16? Oh, that was the gutters. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 16,000.
$5,000 just to repair that one section,
And
which,
yeah, and it still would have been replacing the roof. It wasn't like a complete, it was just a temporary fix.
yeah, it's
Repair the leak.
that just to repair the leak. Which seems high.
Yeah.
There may be more involved in it, but we'll get a couple other bids to just make sure that we're on it. We know that we will have to replace the roof on the A-frame, building A. And with the pitch on that roof, that is going to be an expensive repair. So just
Be prepared.
know that one's coming. Again, we were trying to hold off on that one until we got the building B or the room B part done. We'll see. We'll see what weather and stuff makes demands on. And that's, I think, all of the maintenance updates. Unless anybody knows anything different that has shown, oh, okay. It's enough. It's a lot. But it is moving forward. Other than the roof leak, everything else has been a project in progress.
Well, congratulations again on the 120. What was their total?
To give away,
Yeah.
I think if I recall, they were sitting at 1.1 million in funds to give away. And this was the 3rd cycle of grants and the first time that they had more requests than funds to give away. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so they will have another cycle next year. I don't believe that they are giving away all of the money because from the meeting on Monday, it looked, I did not stay till the very, very end, but they followed a similar process to what we do, where they took all the applications, scored the top third, the middle third, and the bottom third, and they agreed to fund all of us that were in the top third, maybe not fully, but some partials. And then I think they got through at least half of those in that middle section. And there was some discussion at some at the red, but those were proposals that weren't complete or were difficult to justify. There was a few different areas where if the space can't be utilized by the general public, it's not, and or it falls outside the FPUD service area, then they can't fund it, right? And so I believe one of the projects they were having some challenges with were the School of the Arts that had an idea of putting in a music area, or what was it? Some sort of,
Instead of Lena, yeah.
yeah, sort of a
venue
band,
spot.
a venue, but because you have to really use it through the School of Arts, it wasn't really truly fully public. And I think that those are the kinds of details that throw some of the others. I just remember that one for sure.
The exciting ones in Group A that you remember?
What's nice is the Land Conservancy had two, the first two highest scored were from them, and it really had a lot to do with preserving Los Higueros Preserve, and there was another trailhead where a lot of maintenance. Because those preserves see so much local traffic, and it is exactly the right kind of fit for that grant funding. It was really nice to see that. North County Fire at their admin office has a community room, but people haven't been able to access it because getting to it was not safe. The walkway was very, a little bit treacherous. So this will allow cleanup of that and upgrading of the room. So we'll have another public room.
Is this the one on Main?
On Main. So that room will be available for the community, which is great. Most of us didn't know that there was a space there.
Yeah.
And part of it was because it wasn't really safe and accessible to the public. So of course they didn't advertise it.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that'll be a nice resource.
Yeah.
Mission Resource Conservation will be getting funding. They took over the medians on South Mission. They took those over from Save Our Forests and at the request of FPUD. So they'll continue to do a lot of that maintenance, which is quite extensive. There's, obviously a lot of trees. That's a very busy roadway. People move very fast. So you really have only a certain number of tree or vendors who will come in and trim trees in that median because it's dangerous work.
Sure.
And so of course it makes it more expensive, right? Which is part of why Save Our Forests couldn't manage it any longer.
How is Save Our Forest related to the Land Conservancy?
They are one of they fall under the umbrella of the Land Conservancy. So-
Separate organization.
They're not really a separate organization. The Land Conservancy serves as their fiscal agent. So basically it's kind of like their auxiliary, if you will, if that makes more sense from a hospital standpoint.
Thanks.
Makes sense? And I don't recall the rest of the grants. There was a lot of stuff. I know that there was some vote to support the putting up the lights at the ball field. Trying to remember who else. Some signage for Fire Safe Council. And I don't
That's
remember. There was quite the extensive list.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
There was a lot, but I mean, they're obviously, like the health district, they're constrained by their service area. So if the project isn't within their service area, they can't provide those public dollars to that area. Yeah, but it's great. It's great seeing those infrastructure dollars come back in
Yeah.
because finding brick and mortar infrastructure dollars is difficult. There's not open grant money for that typically.
I've forgotten, FPUD decided to do this 3 or 4 years ago.
Do you remember the timeline, Roy?
It's been about 3 years and it's been in discussion 5, 6 years before that.
Okay, yeah.
Did they have to raise money?
There is a small fee, I think that they put
Like $5 per
per household served or something like that,
meter.
something.
Wow.
Yeah, So I mean, it actually generates quite a bit of dollars from ratepayers, which is why it has to go back into service area.
Sure.
But the community did vote on it.
We call it, yeah. Good for everybody.
It's good for everybody.
Right, we are to board member comments. Any comments?
Exciting for the walkway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those have been long awaited. So that, you know, they poured the concrete today for the upper walkway. They'll still be putting in a handrail on the sloped area. But the nice part, was it Monday when they were doing the digging and we found the other drain?
Yes.
So there was an area right at the bottom of the slope, right at the corner of building B that always seemed to overflow and flood. And we'd had somebody out there dig trenches and try to move the water. Well, when the guys got in there and really dug down, they found a drain that was buried at least a foot deep, at least. So they, you know, obviously in construction, you find discovery of. So they found this drain and it would have been right in the middle of the walkway. It's obviously not going to work. So they were able to relocate the drain a little bit farther down. So now we know we have a drain that works and it's in the right spot. That was helpful. The things you find.
Anything else from anybody? Roy?
3 questions.
Yeah.
The encroachment, is that because it's going to be on county property? Or is the sign?
They haven't decided if it's on their property yet or not. But I still have to file the initial permit request.
Okay. And then the negotiations for next door, are they going well, or what's that, any feeling for how that's going? That you can share?
It's not going well.
Okay.
We believe that we had an agreement and some last minute questions came up today. So we will be discussing it at tonight's board meeting. And I believe that we will be tabling the agreement because there will have to be revisions.
Their side?
And then last question on the building A steep roof.
Yeah.
Were you looking to buy time for it before replacing it?
No. I think those days are gone. I think you and I saw a couple of years ago that all the fascia boards are. So when we do that, we'll probably have to rebuild the fascia boards, redo the roof. That will probably be a much larger part of renovation. Maybe when we put in those entry doors, other things, we may just build it into one big project. Because roofing will change the fascia, which if we're going to change out some of the windows, which we're probably going to need to do, we might as well do it as one project. Have one GC in there, manage all of it. Buying time is, right now it's not leaking in that part of the building, so we just have to patch, re-roof the middle area, because there's already water intrusion, and that has to be handled immediately.
Thank you. Good questions, Roy. Thank you. Well, should we have a party?
Well, we're gonna have a party at 6 o'clock when we start the board meeting. And by party, I mean, we're gonna have a board meeting.
First time I've ever thought of it that way, but
Well, I mean,
yeah.
you know, we got good things. At the board meeting, we have a clean audit report, which is always exciting.
You do.
We have a discussion of the new job description for the finance administration support person.
Yep.
And we're gonna have a great conversation about how we might be able to support the food pantry. Those all seem awesome.
Yeah. Hope the shutdown opens up so that food stamps flow again, but in the meantime, we can help, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, the food pantry was already seeing significant problems and challenges keeping up. So even if the government opens up today, there are a lot of folks who have been impacted for the last month and a half, who aren't suddenly going to be flush. Because you know, steal from Peter to pay Paul and Mary's in line next, so it's gonna be a challenge.
Okay, good party then.
Yeah.
All right. If nothing else, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Everybody.